In my 1997 lecture at the Oxford Centre for Islamic Studies, I shared my vision for a world built on mutual respect. I was proud to see Muslims in South Africa, though only 2% of our population serving as judges, ministers, and leaders. Names like Babla Saluji, Imam Harun, Ahmed Timal, and Dr. Hussein Hafarji stay with me, heroes who gave their lives fighting apartheid. Their sacrifice showed me that Islam, at its heart, calls for justice, a call that echoed our own. I also learned from the Muslim community's generosity, like the support they gave to our schools and hospitals, reflecting the compassion at the core of their faith. But let me speak plainly, my respect for Islam comes not from its texts, but from its people, their actions, their kindness, their stand against oppression. I've seen how ignorance can twist any faith into division, but I believe Islam's heritage of tolerance can light the way. In South Africa, we proved that people of all faiths could unite for a greater cause. When I wore the Springbok jersey at the 1995 Rugby World Cup, I saw Muslim South Africans cheering alongside others, their joy part of our shared victory. That unity is what I hold dear, a lesson that faith, like Islam, can be a force for good when it lifts up the human spirit. Conclusion: as I look back, I see Islam as a vital thread in our struggles, tapestry, thread of courage, sacrifice, and hope. To you listening, I say, let your faith, whatever it may be, guide you to build bridges, not walls. Draw inspiration from those who stood with me, who prayed and fought for justice, and let their example push you to create a world where all are equal. My journey with Islam taught me this: when we stand together, no chain can bind us, no injustice can break us. A luta continueth, struggle for a better world continues. My friends, I greet you with the warmth of peace, as Salamu Alaikum, a greeting that carries the spirit of unity I've always cherished. As a young man in the rural Eastern Cape, Islam was not part of my daily life, but when I arrived in Johannesburg, I met extraordinary Muslims who stood with us against apartheid's cruelty. Their courage, rooted in faith, showed me how belief can fuel the fight for justice. People like Dullah Omar, who later became a minister in our democratic government, and Yusuf Dadoo, a tireless activist, taught me that Islam's call to fairness aligned with our struggle for freedom. In the harsh years on Robben Island, where I spent 27 years of my life, I saw Islam's strength in action. Muslim prisoners, like Sheikh Machura, created a karamat, a sacred space for prayer, that became a beacon of hope in that bleak place. Their discipline during Ramadan, fasting from dawn to dusk, was a quiet act of defiance against our captors. I remember a fellow prisoner, plump from the biryani left by visitors, bringing us rare moments of laughter in those grim cells. These experiences showed me how faith could sustain not just the body but the soul, keeping hope alive even when freedom seemed distant. We smuggled messages, shared books, and held secret debates, and the Muslim prisoners' resolve strengthened us all. When I walked free in 1990 and later became South Africa's president, I saw how deeply Islam was woven into our nation's story. From Sheikh Yusuf, a 17th-century freedom fighter exiled to the Cape, to the Indian and Zanzibari laborers who brought their faith to our shores, Muslims helped build South Africa. In 1998, an Eid celebration in Johannesburg, I spoke of how Islam took root in Africa centuries ago, when King Negus of Abyssinia sheltered the Prophet Muhammad's followers. That history of refuge and respect inspired me to see religion as a bridge, not a barrier. I wanted our rainbow nation to reflect that spirit, where Muslims, Christians, Hindus, and others could share a common dream.